For 4,500 years, the Great Pyramid has stood silently against the desert sky. Its stones whisper secrets no living soul can fully decode. What if it wasn't just a tomb for a pharaoh, but a machine built to awe and endure? Imagine workers moving 60-ton blocks with a system no one truly understood. The world has long believed in ramps and brute force. But what if that was only half the story? Inside its chambers, shadows hint at tools and mechanisms hidden from sight. Every corridor, every passage may have served a purpose far beyond our assumptions. Was the pyramid simply a resting place, or was it an engineering marvel disguised as stone? The desert wind carries whispers of kings, gods, and men who dared defy nature. Today, we will walk those silent halls and explore the secrets within. The stones themselves hold memory, if only we know how to read them. Did the builders rely on brute human strength, or did the pyramid help build itself? Some passages rise at impossible angles, yet remain perfectly level at their tips. Could ancient Egyptians have invented machines lost to history? Modern researchers now suggest counterweights, hidden ramps, and pulleys may hold the key. Internal passages like the Grand Gallery may have served as inclined lifting ramps. The antechamber, long thought empty or symbolic, may have moved the heavier stones. But one secret is clear. The pyramid was built not just with hands, but with extraordinary ingenuity. And yet, this is still a theory, not a certainty, and that is part of the thrill. The desert has kept its silence for millennia, guarding answers just out of reach. But today, we step closer to understanding the greatest human achievement of the ancient world. Are you ready to enter a world where stone, faith, and human ambition collide? Where belief, engineering, and royal decree merge into one monumental vision? This is the story of the Great Pyramid, not as a ruin, but as a living testament to genius. A monument where every line, every corner was guided by purpose and divine order, where kings ruled, priests advised, and workers brought stone to life under the sun, and where a system hidden inside may have lifted tons of stone higher than imagination dares. For millennia, scholars argued over ramps, slaves, and labyrinth new insights emerge. Now, we explore not just how it was built, but why, by whom, and under what human drama. Step into the shadow of the stones and let the pyramid begin to speak. To the Egyptians, death was not the end, but a journey the soul must travel with care. Pharaohs were gods on earth, and their passage to eternity demanded precision. Khufu, the Great One, sought immortality not just for himself, but for cosmic balance. The pyramid was conceived as a resurrection machine, aligning Earth with the heavens. Each stone, each passage, each chamber reflected divine order known as Mat. Light, shadow, and astronomical alignment were more than decoration, they were sacred. The rising sun touched the pyramid in ways that marked time, seasons, and ritual moments. Failure was unthinkable. Death, disorder, or misalignment would disrupt Mat itself. The pyramid was both a tomb and a testament, a message from the living to eternity. Khufu demanded perfection. No stone could be out of place beneath his watchful gaze. It was not fear alone that drove this work, but belief, ritual, and devotion. The afterlife was a delicate journey, and the pyramid was the vessel that guided it. Cosmic order dictated architecture, and every design choice reflected celestial harmony. White limestone casing gleamed in the sun, symbolizing purity and divine presence. Sacred chambers, often red granite, honored gods and ensured spiritual continuity. Rituals during construction reinforced divine favor and worker discipline. Offerings were made, festivals held, and ceremonies performed to bless every stone. The pharaoh's tastes extended beyond structure to atmosphere, symmetry, and ceremony. Even minor disorder could invoke royal displeasure, shaping every corner of the pyramid. The Great Pyramid was more than stone. It was a statement of eternal power. It was a monument built for the pharaoh, yet crafted to serve the civilization itself. Every alignment, every corridor echoed the preferences and beliefs of the royal family. Royal rituals dictated when and how workers labored, moving stones in time with ceremonies. Priests and architects merged science with sacred practice, guiding the vision to life. Mat was everywhere, in passageways, chambers, and the angles of immense blocks. A missed measurement could upset spiritual balance, and the pharaoh's wrath was feared. The pyramid became the axis of Egypt, connecting heaven, king, and people. The Nile brought stone, food, and workers, linking practical logistics with cosmic intent. Life near Giza was structured by belief, labor, and careful attention to royal guidance. Workers celebrated festivals to honor Pharaoh, blending devotion with the rhythm of labor. The royal family's preferences touched even mundane matters, shaping camp life and tools. Large blocks were carefully carved to reflect perfection in proportion and design. Every measurement, every line, echoed the pharaoh's desire for eternal influence. It was a society built around the pyramid, its labor, culture, and faith intertwined. The pharaoh's divine status inspired loyalty, pride, and extraordinary effort. Workers were not slaves, but skilled artisans, rewarded with food, shelter, and respect. Daily life blended routine labor with sacred ritual, reinforcing shared purpose. Khufu's oversight extended beyond plans. He shaped vision, practice, and the pyramid itself. Even colors and materials reflected his personal taste, aligned with cosmic meaning. Ceremonial precision became a tool of control and a reinforcement of divine order. Every sunrise reflected against polished limestone reminded Egypt of the pharaoh's presence. Workers' camps were vibrant centers of planning, rest, and celebration under royal oversight. Laborers carved, dragged, and positioned blocks with pride, honoring both Pharaoh and gods. The project unified a civilization, linking Nile towns, temples, and royal administration. Ancient Egyptians believed the pyramid ensured the pharaoh's eternal reign and national stability. Math was not abstract. It governed construction, life, and even politics. Workers learned devotion through labor. Missteps were spiritual as well as practical errors. Stones were delivered along canals, moved by barges, choreographed under royal direction. Precision, faith, and discipline fused into a single monumental effort across decades. The pyramid's construction was as much cultural performance as it was engineering feat. Festivals, rituals, and offerings were daily reminders that the pharaohs will guided all. Royal tastes were woven into architecture, creating a palace that reached toward eternity. Cosmic alignment, ceremonial timing, and divine symbolism shaped each layer of stone. Success was measured not in days or tons, but in harmony with the gods and the king. Even subtle misalignment could offend deities, risking chaos beyond the human realm. Yet this structure would not crumble. It was designed to last millennia, reflecting belief itself. Workers carved granite with copper tools, aligning stones with millimeter precision. Time pressure weighed on every hand, every plan, as Khufu's life set the ultimate deadline. The pyramid stood as a bridge between human effort and divine order, tangible and eternal. And so the stage was set. Belief, people, and the pharaoh's vision converged to shape history. Khufu, young pharaoh of Egypt, inherited the throne with a vision that reached beyond mortality. He was not merely a king. He was seen as Horus incarnate, a living god among men. Every decision he made was measured in divine precision, from palace gardens to temple rituals. His desire for the pyramid was not vanity, it was cosmic order-made stone. Gold, incense, and white linen filled his chambers, symbols of perfection and purity. Symmetry and alignment mattered to him more than comfort or ease. Even the smallest deviation in palace architecture could draw his sharp attention. Khufu commanded, yet he also inspired devotion through ceremony and ritual spectacle. The people believed the pyramid could carry him to eternity, and themselves along with him. His presence, even unseen, shaped every stone, every worker's effort, every river transport. Hemunu, vizier and genius architect, became the mind behind Khufu's vision. He mapped the pyramid in precise proportions, merging mathematics, astronomy, and ritual. Lines were measured against the stars. Angles calculated for millennia-long stability. Hemunu directed engineers, scribes, and stoneworkers with the discipline of a military general. His office was filled with papyri sketches and calculations, evidence of meticulous planning. Nothing left to chance, from the Nile barges to the tiny ramps inside the pyramid. He knew every crew member, every master mason, every logistics officer by name. Without him, the divine order Khufu demanded would collapse into chaos. Yet even he was human, burdened by deadlines, political scrutiny, and the pharaoh's expectations. Hemunu's brilliance bridged the mortal and the divine, translating a god's desire into stone. The laborers were skilled, not enslaved. Each stone required artistry and strength. Quarrymen shaped limestone blocks with copper chisels, polishing edges to near perfection. Transport crews loaded stones onto barges along the Nile, timing each shipment with the flood. Their days began before dawn, chants blending with hammering and the river's steady flow. Camps were organized with food, medical care, and workshops. Morale was maintained carefully. Workers took pride in their skill, knowing each block would last 4,000 years. Rivalries emerged naturally: who could carve more precisely, who could lift faster. Festivals honored the pharaoh, mixing devotion with celebration, giving workers reprieve. Even the Nile itself became a partner, its seasonal rise crucial for delivering stone. These men and women were the invisible hands, turning divine vision into reality. Royal tastes dictated even the smallest details of labor: linen quality, diet, and music. Khufu disliked disorder. Camps had to maintain cleanliness and efficiency at all times. Sacred colors, white, gold, and red appeared in workshops and ceremonial spaces. Workers painted their insignia and inscriptions to honor the pharaoh's divine order. Royal women performed rituals daily, ensuring gods watched over construction. Priests offered prayers and incense, blending faith and labor into a single purpose. Even pauses in work became ceremonial, integrating culture into routine tasks. These preferences shaped morale, guiding hands with devotion as much as instruction. The pharaoh's presence was felt everywhere, even when absent, a constant invisible eye. Workers lived in a culture of respect, awe, and subtle fear, motivated by pride and divinity. Stones weighed up to 60 tons, heavier than anything previously moved by man. Copper chisels dulled quickly. Wood levers splintered. Sand and heat wore men down. Mistakes were costly. A misaligned block could ripple through the structure for decades. Time pressed constantly. Pharaoh's lifespan was finite, and delays threatened legacy. Political rivals watched for weakness. Failure could inspire unrest across Egypt. Even nature conspired: heat, sandstorms, and the Nile's temperament tested resolve daily. Logistics demanded perfection. One late shipment could halt weeks of labor. Despite these dangers, the human spirit endured, guided by discipline and ritual. Pride and devotion became as vital as skill, each worker a small cog in a divine machine. It was a project that combined ambition, fear, and faith in every motion of stone. And yet, even with skilled hands, divine order, and endless planning, a question remained. How could humans lift stones heavier than elephants hundreds of feet into the sky? External ramps alone seemed impossible. The pyramid towered with no obvious path. Every angle, every measurement hinted at a secret buried within its structure. Was there a hidden method, a clever device, or something lost to history? Scholars now look inward, past corridors and chambers, searching for the answer. The pyramid might hold not just a king, but the secret to its own construction. And inside its walls, the ingenuity of men and gods may have converged. Soon, the mystery of the internal mechanisms comes into view, reshaping our understanding. The pyramid was about to reveal a genius hidden in plain sight within its stones. Lifting stones heavier than elephants required not just strength, but cunning beyond imagination. The pyramid rose relentlessly, layer by layer, each level taller, steeper, and more precise. Ordinary ramps would have needed earth mounds longer than the pyramid itself. Spiral or zigzag ramps presented sharp angles, impossible to navigate with 60-ton blocks. Every external solution seemed to vanish into impossibility, leaving architects desperate. Hemunu observed the Grand Gallery, the ascending passage, and the antechamber with fascination. Could the pyramid itself provide the answer hidden within its stones and passages? Workers whispered rumors of clever devices, of stones that seemed to move by themselves. Daily toil became a mix of faith, skill, and quiet awe at the scale of human ambition. Tension mounted. Every misplaced stone risked collapse. Every delay risked royal wrath. And then a radical idea emerged, one that changed how we see the Great Pyramid forever. What if the pyramid was not just a tomb, but a machine capable of lifting its own stones? The corridors, once thought simple passages, might have been inclined ramps in disguise. Counterweights could slide along these ramps, powered by gravity, reducing human effort. Pulley-like mechanisms hidden in the antechamber might have guided stones with precision. Internal engineering, elegant and hidden, could explain the astonishing speed of construction. The pyramid itself became the tool, the builder, and the marvel, all at once. Scholars debated, but the possibility sparked a new awe, human ingenuity woven into stone. Could these mechanisms really lift 60-ton blocks one by one, day after day? And so the mystery of internal genius begins to unfold within the pyramid's heart. The Grand Gallery, long a corridor of mystery, may have been a sloped internal ramp. Heavy counterweights slid down its length, generating the force needed to lift massive stones. The ascending passage, angled and narrow, could guide stones upward with incredible precision. The antechamber, previously seen as a security space, functioned like a pulley station. Workers moved stone blocks with mechanical advantage, their labor multiplied by clever design. Great Pyramid of Giza, neutral, non-human monument and living machine, 146 meters at its original peak with perfect square base. One block could be lifted in minutes, not hours, through carefully orchestrated counterweights. The pyramid grew from the inside out, each layer built with hidden engineering marvels. As each stone found its place, the structure itself aided the next, a self-building monument. This internal method explained how precision met speed and why no massive external ramps existed. Every passage, every chamber, every angle was a cog in the grand machine of creation. Workers gazed in wonder as blocks moved almost as if by magic, guided by unseen hands. Engineers checked angles, measured distances, and timed counterweights with exacting care. Even small mistakes could cascade, forcing hours of recalibration and delicate adjustment. Yet the rhythm of work was steady, almost ritualistic, blending faith and mechanics. Observers noted how laborers seemed part of a larger symphony, each role essential. The genius of the system lay in its subtlety, invisible, silent, yet astonishingly effective. Hemyunu's vision bridged human effort with the laws of physics, using stone, gravity, and space. The pyramid was not just a building, it was the realization of divine and human harmony. Scholars today marvel at the ingenuity, imagining the labor, sweat, and genius required. And all of this genius was hidden, revealed only by careful study centuries later. Builders risked injury daily. A single slip could crush a limb under immense weight. Yet they moved with pride, their skill celebrated in inscriptions and ceremonial songs. Pharaoh's presence, though unseen, infused every effort with purpose and awe. Competition, devotion, and hierarchy blended, creating a unique labor culture unlike any other. Even the Nile's waters, rising seasonally, became part of this mechanical ballet. Logistics, faith, and engineering converged, showing the pinnacle of human coordination. Each block placed reinforced both structure and spirit, uniting people and vision. The pyramid rose, silent yet alive, a testament to clever minds and tireless hands. Internal mechanisms whispered secrets of physics and ingenuity hidden in stone, and for every stone moved, the builders honored both Pharaoh and the gods above. But even genius alone cannot explain the heart of the pyramid. Behind the stones were people, rituals, and a royal family shaping every decision. What did Khufu and his family desire beyond construction? How did their tastes, rituals, and power influence workers, tools, and even the Nile itself? The answer lies not just in mechanics, but in culture, devotion, and divine order. Soon, we explore how the royal family's preferences shaped the pyramid and its people. Their presence was felt in every meal, every festival, every hammer stroke and measurement. And their influence went beyond stones, touching the very soul of Egypt's civilization. Understanding this culture is the key to seeing the pyramid not just as a building, but as a living symbol. The stage is set for the royal family's story to unfold, alongside the labor, life, and devotion that built eternity. Khufu ruled not only as Pharaoh, but as a god walking among mortals, shaping destiny itself. His tastes dictated grandeur, symmetry, alignment with stars, and ceremonial perfection. Disorder and mistakes were intolerable. Even minor errors risked royal displeasure. White limestone shimmered in the sun, reflecting divine purity as Khufu commanded. Red granite marked sacred chambers, echoing the pharaoh's preference for majesty and durability. Festivals, offerings, and rituals reinforced the pharaoh's presence, even within the labor camps. Royal women influenced rituals, ensuring ceremonies aligned with both gods and cosmic order. Princes served as administrators, overseeing logistics, priestly duties, and worker morale. Priests performed rites daily, blending religion with governance, embedding culture in construction. The royal family's vision touched every stone, every passage, every hidden mechanism within the pyramid. Workers received careful food, medical care, and housing, honoring the pharaoh's orders. Clothing, jewelry, and tools reflected both utility and ceremonial symbolism. Labor was not mere toil, it was devotion, pride, and honor under the watchful eyes of gods and Pharaoh alike. Festivals celebrated milestones of construction, blending joy, faith, and social cohesion. Competition and camaraderie coexisted among crews, each striving for perfection. Artistic inscriptions and graffiti preserved both achievements and human emotion for eternity. Khufu's presence, even when unseen, was a constant reminder of the sacred purpose behind every effort. Royal directives ensured the Nile's seasonal floods were harnessed for transport, integrating nature into culture. The pharaohs will shaped not just stones, but hearts, inspiring unity across thousands of people. Every alignment, every architectural choice reflected both divine order and royal taste. The pyramid was more than a tomb. It was a statement of political unity across Egypt. By centralizing resources and labor, Khufu asserted authority over provinces and nobles alike. Temples, altars, and causeways reinforced his eternal presence and power. Religious ceremonies intertwined with construction, merging faith and engineering into one purpose. The pyramid symbolized cosmic order, mat binding the living and dead, people and gods. Royal decrees influenced even seemingly minor details, from stone selection to ceremonial timing. Every corner, every chamber reflected the pharaoh's intent to command both respect and devotion. Skilled workers internalized cultural values, integrating faith, obedience, and artistry in every task. Ritual offerings ensured divine favor, reinforcing both engineering success and cultural harmony. The pyramid became a microcosm of Egypt itself. Society, faith, politics, and cosmic ambition intertwined. Thousands of years later, the Great Pyramid still stands, a silent witness to human ambition. Stone erodes, empires fall, yet the vision, faith, and culture that built it endure. Scholars study internal ramps, counterweights, and hidden mechanisms with awe and humility. Yet the true marvel is the blending of people, culture, faith, and intellect in one monumental achievement. The pharaoh's tastes, rituals, and demands shaped not just architecture, but civilization itself. Workers, priests, administrators, and sailors all contributed to a shared story of ingenuity. The pyramid embodies both human genius and human devotion, inseparable in purpose. It whispers secrets of loyalty, ambition, and cosmic belief across millennia. Its silent chambers, hidden passages, and precise angles continue to spark imagination and study. What seems stone cold is alive with history, culture, and human aspiration. 4,500 years later, the pyramid still commands reverence, awe, and curiosity. It was not built by magic, but by human skill, vision, and unyielding devotion. The pharaoh, the royal family, and the people left a monument far greater than any king alone. Belief, culture, and human ambition intertwined, crafting an eternal symbol. The pyramid rises not only on sand, but on the imagination, faith, and hearts of countless generations. Its stones whisper of lives lived, choices made, and devotion poured into every block. And though centuries may fade memory, the pyramid endures, eternal, silent, and magnificent. Stone can crumble, and empires may vanish, yet belief and vision can carve eternity. The Great Pyramid is more than architecture. It is humanity's dream made solid. Silence falls over the desert, but the legacy of faith, culture, and ingenuity echoes forever.